once you came here as a human being, life got a little complicated. If you came here like any other creature on this planet, stomach full, life settled. Once you come here as a human being, stomach empty, only one problem. Stomach full, 100 problems. So what we are calling as life here is just a certain combination of time and energy. This combo of time and energy, unfortunately, majority of the people never learn to handle it seamlessly and wonderfully. Hitch after hitch, everything is a problem. If you're a toddler, you have diaper problems. If you become an adolescent, you have hormonal problems. If you become middle-aged, there is a crisis. Old age is horrible. Every phase of life, people are seeing it as some kind of a problem. Of course, death is a serious problem. So this combination of time and energy, we must understand the nature of what we are handling. Time, by its own nature, is such, you do something, it rolls. If you don't do something, it rolls. You don't have to push it, I'm saying. Hello? As you're sitting here, it's rolling away. You're doing a lot of things, it's rolling away. You do nothing, it rolls away. You're awake, it rolls away. You're asleep, it rolls away. But without having mastery over time, nobody can determine the nature of their destiny in their lives. How to grab time? People are talking about time management. Have you ever managed time? As you sit here, it's ticking away. And what's ticking away is not a clock. What's ticking away is our life itself. Hello? Since I walked in, you're 2 minutes closer to your grave. Yes, you are. Me too. This is the nature of time. Whatever you do not do anything you want, but you're not able to roll it back, it is only rolling forward. So how to take charge of time? Just a few days ago, I was flying in from India to United States. It's a direct flight, Air India. Normally it used to be 13.5, 14 hours, but now there is some issue that Pakistan is not allowing airplanes to fly over their airspace, so it's taking 16 hours. Because I know all the pilots and I'm a licensed pilot myself, so they let me sit in the cockpit and I'm interested in what's happening there. And I made it up. So I was talking to them and they said, Sadhguru, I said, 14 hours, isn't it? They said, no, Sadhguru, 16 hours, it's so long. Then I said, see, I'm not complaining. Because just a century ago, if I had to go to United States, it was 60 days. 16 hours, I'm not complaining, I'm okay. I'll sit down, lie down, read something, do something or talk to you. But I'm not complaining about 16 hours. How did 60 days become 16 hours? Simply because from a chugging steam engine to a jet engine, hello? Suddenly 60 days became 16 hours. So the only way you can take charge of time is by mastering your energies, how they function. If you are functioning like a steam engine, it's a long time. If you're functioning like a jet engine, boom. Right now they're saying the Chinese have developed an airplane where Beijing to New York you can do it in 2 hours. They're saying by 2028 they'll have it commercially ready. 2 hours. So, this is not mastery of time, but consequentially, it is mastery of time. If what somebody does in 10 years, if you can do it in 1 year, if both of you live for 100 years, in terms of impact and profoundness of experience, you lived for 1,000 years. Hello? That is the only way you can take charge of time. And one who's taken charge of time, for him, the entire universe is a sweetness of compassion. Will be his experience of life once he's taken charge of time. But right now, most human beings have not even made their problems so profound. Their problems are still of physiological and psychological drama that's going on. If you look at all the arrangements individual human beings are making in their lives, of home, family, friendships, relationships, many things, if you look at it, through various means, through prayer, through meditation, to alcohol, through drug, of course doing freaky things, all this is just to manage the compulsive dimensions of their physiological and psychological processes. Hello? Yes or no? Just to manage. Entire life arrangement, what you call as economy, what you call as family, what you call as society, what you call as civilization, largely 99% is addressing only physiological and psychological aspects of life. When I say physiological and psychological, problems of survival, problems of sexuality, problems of death and disease, this is occupying a huge amount. Election is coming next year, you will see a whole lot of people in an affluent country like this will be only talking about health care. See, the reason why an individual human being or a society or a nation seeks affluence is, first stage of affluence is, it gives you a choice of nourishment. Second stage of affluence is, it gives you a choice of lifestyle. The most affluent nation on the planet spends $3 trillion on its health care. Obviously, they're not really choosing their nourishment or their lifestyles properly. Hello? So, psychological dramas, you're becoming serious, huh? This happened. On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there and staring at her. Then he started coming closer and closer and closer. He came so close, she could even feel his breath. And she trembled, not out of fear. And then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream." What's happening in your head is your dream, isn't it so? Hello? Whatever is happening in your head is your dream. Now, for most people, it is not even about life not happening the way they want it. Their dream is not happening the way they want it. If you cannot manage life, at least you must be able to manage the goddamn dream, your dream. Hello? If your dream was happening your way, right now you're sitting here, if your thought and emotion was happening the way you want it, would you choose to be blissful or miserable? You must choose, I'm going to bless you also now. Would you choose blissfulness or misery? Whatever you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but for yourself, 100% pleasantness, isn't it? Highest level of pleasantness. It is just that if this body becomes pleasant, we call this health. If oh, this little baby If this body Hey, you If this body becomes pleasant, we call it health. You want it? Hey, you must choose, I'm going to bless. Hello? You want it?
Yes.
Don't take it for granted, it's not forever, all right? If it becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. If this mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it joy. If your emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. If your very life energies become pleasant, we call this blissfulness. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call this success. Only to create pleasantness in your surroundings, you need the cooperation of people and various other forces around you. But for the pleasantness of the body, for the pleasantness of the mind, for the pleasantness of your emotions and energy, it is 100% your business. Hello? Yes or no? You're getting very serious. I must tell you this, the only reason why the entire humanity is not naturally realized or enlightened is they're dead serious about their lives. You must underline the dead. How do you become dead serious about your life? You have misunderstood memory that you carry as intelligence. This is the fundamental mistake. The moment you misunderstand your memory to be intelligence, you will become dead serious. Because what you call as memory, is it living or dead? Hello? Dead. When you carry it like your wealth, you will become dead serious. I don't know how you understand the word serious here, at least in India, the way we use the language, English language. I think the English spent only 150, 170 years in America. They spent 250 years in India. So we grasp little more English. Their way. If someone comes and tells you, my grandmother is serious, how do you understand this? That is, she's on the way out. Hello? If you have become very serious, how am I supposed to understand this? Hello? You are on the way out. Yes, you are. Because you are mistaking the dead for the living. Right now, what is it that human beings are suffering? They're able to suffer what happened 10 years ago. Yes or no? Hello? Something happened 10 years ago, they're still suffering it. They can also suffer what may happen day after tomorrow, already. What happened 10 years ago, does it exist right now? Hello? What may happen day after tomorrow, does it exist right now? So you are suffering that which does not exist. There is a lot of vocabulary to describe, there's a lot of vocabulary to describe the condition where people are suffering things that do not exist. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know all those bad words. But there are words to describe this. That is, you're suffering something that does not exist. Today the world, through technologies, like we talked about a steam engine to a jet engine, through technologies we've gotten some grasp over the energies around us. Because of that, we have some control over the time. Yes? In a lifetime, what 100 people could do 1,000 years ago. Today, one person can do, simply because we have gotten some charge of the energies around us. We have managed the forces around us in such a way that we have compressed time. But the important thing is, you are a piece of energy, you're a piece of life energy, a certain amount of life energy. How exuberant and how alive it is will determine how your time and destiny arranges itself. Because technology-wise, you're becoming too data-driven. This is not new, believe me. You've always been data-driven. For example, your very making is data-driven. Do you remember how your great 10 generations ago, your grandfather or grandmother looked like? Do you? Now, but see, his or her nose is sitting on your face right now. Obviously, your nose sprouted out of data. Hello? Yes or no? 1,000,000 years ago, your forefathers, what was the texture of their skin? Still data or no? Hello? Of course, you are going and lying on the beach, but still data-driven, isn't it? So, everything that's physical in the universe anyway is data-driven. But what is physical about you is just an accumulation. What you call as my body is just an accumulation that you gathered over a period of time. What you accumulate can be yours, but can never ever be you, isn't it? Hello? As I'm speaking, I will pick up this little bowl and say, this is my bowl. Then you will think, oh, Sadhguru seems to have some problem. But let's listen some more. Everybody says he's wise. After some time I said, this is me. Then you'll say, let's go. Because this is a clear case. Hello? This you're doing every day. Food appears on your plate, you say, this is my food. You eat it, this is me. Hello? The moment you misunderstand what is not you as yourself, then everything is messed up, everything is by accident. When you live by accident, if you live accidentally, anxiety is natural. Even doctors are saying this, anxiety is just natural. I must tell you this. First when I came to United States about 20 years ago, wherever I went, everybody was talking about stress management. I couldn't understand this because in my understanding, we manage things which are precious to us, our family, our business, our wealth and whatever matters to us. Why would anybody want to manage stress? It took me a little while to understand everybody's assumed stress is a part of their life. Stress is not a part of your life, anxiety is not a part of your life, it's just your inability to manage your own thought and emotion, isn't it? Hello? If your thought and emotion took instructions from you, as you already said, you would choose to be blissful. Right now, they're not taking instructions from you, why? Maybe you've not figured out where the keyboard is. This is the most complex computer you have, isn't it? Hello? You've not figured out where the keyboard is, nor have you bothered to read the user's manual. Shall we do a small experiment with you? Is that okay? Those of you who are in the darkness, shall we? What we will do is something very simple. Sit with your spine erect. Keep all the 5 fingers together. Place it facing down, gently upon your thigh. Don't do it yet, keep your eyes open, just look at me. What we will do is, we will sit like this with eyes closed, inhale and exhale slightly deeper than normal, just about 10–15% more than normal, just to see, just so that you can notice where the maximum expansion and contraction of lungs is happening. You do this As you're doing this, I say switch. When I say switch, without breaking the rhythm of your breathing, just turn this over. Again, when I say switch, turn this over. In these two positions of your hand, something about your breath will change. When I say something, the way air fills up into your lungs, something about it will alter itself. I want you to notice this. If you wish to notice this, your spine should be erect, eyes should be closed, and you must be focused on the breath. Let's do this. Hands facing down, inhalation and exhalation slightly deeper than normal, all 5 fingers together. Switch. Switch again. Please open your eyes. Do you notice some change between these two? Can somebody say what? Okay, let me tell you what's happening. Just do one breath, you will notice this. When your hands are facing down, the maximum expansion and contraction is happening in the lower lobe of the lung, so you will notice it in the diaphragm region. When you turn it over, it moves to the middle lobe of the lung. Because of that, you'll notice it little higher up. Just try one breath. Is that so? So just turning your hand over, the very way you breathe is altering itself. As you know, breath is the basis of your life right now. If there is no doctor around just to find out whether you're alive or dead, we normally check your breath, are you breathing or not? So, if breathing or not is deciding whether you're alive or dead, how you breathe may also decide how you live, isn't it? Hello? So just like this, if you turn, the very way you breathe is changing, it's not just the breath, the very life energies, how they function within the system are altering themselves simply because you shifted your hand. How many times in a day do you do this unconsciously? I see in California everybody's doing this, huh? What is that, huh? Now you're doing this, setting your energies into turmoil and hoping to be peaceful doesn't work like that. This is like you got into your car, you don't know what these 3 pedals are, you kick any one of them whenever you feel like it. You know what a jerky driver you will be? That's all that's happening. Human well-being is right now jerky. The way we've been trying to handle this till this moment is through belief systems, by believing all kinds of things, through philosophies, through ideologies, through morals, through ethics, of course alcohol, of course drug. Well, all of them might have worked momentarily. But if you don't learn the mechanics of how this one functions and learn to operate it the way you need to operate it, you being peaceful or blissful is a accidental thing. Once in a way it happens. 24 hours, it's not like that. Something drama needs to be happening around us all the time to keep you entertained and focused on something. Right now I want you to understand, it is in pursuit of human well-being and happiness that we have ripped this planet apart. Hello? Not for bad reasons. It is in pursuit of human well-being. From 1,000 years ago to now, or why that far, from 100 years ago to now, if you look at it, how people lived 100 years ago and how you're living today materially, what royalty could not afford 100 years ago, all of you have today, yes or no? All of you are driving chariots with 400, 600 horses? No emperor could afford this But are we any more joyful or blissful or peaceful or loving than what people were 100 years ago? So in terms of human experience, you must understand this. Human experience is essentially caused from within you. Pain and pleasure, joy and misery, agony and ecstasy, whatever and whatever, light and darkness, everything happens within you, yes or no? What happens within you, you're trying to fix it by fixing the entire world. We've fixed the world substantially. If you fix it anymore, there'll be no world left. Yes, what needs to be fixed is this one. If you want to fix human well-being, in is the only way out. Because we are becoming too memory-based. See, you must understand this, as you know, in California, machines are coming. They will process memory way better than you. Hello? Those of you who are living on your memory will feel threatened because machines will handle your memory far, far better than any human being. Yes or no? Data. When you live by memory, life becomes repetitive. You may make permutations and combinations of it. You're only deceiving your psychological structure. You're not able to deceive the fundamental intelligence of life. This happened. You're getting serious, this is my concern. There was a man whose name was Topiwala. The word Topiwala means a hat seller. You know, people have… their professions are their second name, there is a carpenter, there is a blacksmith, there is a goldsmith, like this. He is a hat seller, so he is a Topiwala. He is going from village to village in tropical heat in India, selling hats. This is in early 20th century. One day in the afternoon, hot afternoon, it's okay. On a hot afternoon, he sat under a tree, he opened his meager lunch, ate it and he dozed off. When he opened his eyes, his entire stock of hats were gone. He was distressed, he looked around, where are my hats, where are my hats? No sign. He looked for footprints, did anybody come and take my hats? Nothing, just gone. When everything that you can do, you do and it doesn't work, what do? Seeking help from above. He looked up to pray. There he saw a bunch of monkeys, all of them wearing hats and sitting. Then he yelled at them, they yelled back at him. He abused them, they abused in their own language. Then he picked up whatever he could and threw it at them, they picked up whatever they can and threw it back at him. Not knowing what to do, out of sheer frustration, he took his hat and flung it on the ground. All the monkeys took their hats and flung it on the ground. He picked up his hats and went about his business. 2020, September 23rd, another man, his name also Topiwala, went about selling hats. On an afternoon, he went and sat under a tree. 21st century, elaborate lunch. He ate, promptly fell asleep. When he opened his eyes, hats were gone. He did not look here and there, he looked straight up. Data. All the monkeys were sitting there with hats on. He got up and made funny faces at them. They made funnier faces at him. He jived, they jived, he had all the fun he wanted to have. When he was done, he took his hat and flung it on the ground. A baboon of a monkey quickly came down, picked up the hat, walked up to him, gave him a tight slap in the face and said, "You idiot, you think only you had a grandfather?" There is intelligence beyond memory. If you do not know how to distinguish what is your memory and what is you, life is an endless turmoil. When somebody is entangled in their memory, in India we say ayyo karma. Both ayyo and karma today in the English lexicon, okay, it's in the Oxford Dictionary. Ayyo karma means, see, you're okay. Nobody is stabbing you, nobody is poking you, you had your breakfast, you're sitting here, but because your memory is torturing you. When your memory tortures you, we say karma, because karma means recorded memory of every action that you perform through your body, through your thought, through your emotion and your energy, everything that you performed in a day, it is all accumulated in your system. When that starts bothering you, we say karma, karma case. Now if you do not become free from this, if you do not understand, memory is a wealth. It's like your wealth. You can use it, but you cannot breathe it, eat it, drink it. You can only use it. If you want to use something, there must be a little difference, distinction between what is you and what is not you, isn't it? Right now, your memory has become you. You are the kind of person you are only because of your memory, isn't it? Hello? And you will see, unfortunately, see, the most fantastic thing about being human is we have a vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination. But right now, these are the two faculties that human beings are suffering. Yes? What happened yesterday they can suffer means what? They're suffering their ability to remember. They are suffering what may happen tomorrow, they are suffering their ability to imagine. If we took away part of their brain, they would be peaceful. Yes, I want you to understand, it took millions of years of work, evolutionary work, to give you this level of cerebral capability. And right now, most human beings are only suffering this. Hello? Most human beings are only suffering this. When is the last time that you got stabbed in Los Angeles? Hello? Even here it didn't happen to you, isn't it? So you're on self-help, poking yourself, because they gave you a sharp intelligence. If we made it totally blunt, which you're trying to do many ways, the reason why somebody soaks their brain in wine or in smoke or in something is, they want it to be blunted for some time because they're not able to bear the intelligence. Yes? The greatest gift you have is your intelligence, and that's what you're suffering. Hello? You heard of Charles Darwin? In California he lives, we are in Tennessee, you know, he's little. He's not so welcome there. So, Charles Darwin went about expounding like this, a goat could have become a giraffe over so many million years. A pig could have become an elephant over many more million years. But a monkey became man rather quickly. So quickly that anthropologists are thinking there must be a missing link somewhere. The DNA difference between you and a chimpanzee is only 1.23%. 1.23% is not much of a difference, isn't it? Hello? Not a great percentage, I'm saying. Physiologically, that is how close you are to a chimpanzee. But in terms of your intelligence and awareness, you are worlds apart from a chimpanzee, and this is your problem. You have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough base. If you do not create that, a physiological, chemical and energy base which is very stable, your intelligence is a curse. It's not a blessing, because it tortures you every day. If you had half the brain that you have, you would be quite okay, isn't it? Hello? Tell me, is your intelligence a problem or is it a solution to our lives? Hello? Should intelligence be a problem or a solution? It is the only goddamn solution you have. Yes or no? It is the only solution you have. The only solution you have if you turn it into your problem. Simply because you don't have a stable base. Your chemistry not stable, your energy is not stable, your physiological structure not stable enough. If you make these three things stable, you will see your intelligence is the greatest gift that you have as a life upon this planet. When I say your intelligence, I'm not just talking about your thought process. Thought is just data being recycled. Thought is not the greatest intelligence you have. Hey, what did you eat for breakfast? You don't eat breakfast? Why you treating us so badly? Somebody who had breakfast, what did you have for breakfast? Huh?
Coffee with butter.
Butter and coffee, that's it. What's happening here? Hey, somebody who eats normally, hello? So let's say you had a piece of bread. Oh, this is sounding like heaven where they have only dry bread and water. Let's say you had a piece of bread. Does piece of bread look like you? Hello? Does it smell like you? Does it feel like you? No. So now if I take a piece of bread in my hand and turn this into a human being, who do you think I am? Must be the very source of creation, isn't it? If I can turn a piece of bread into a human being, this is it, this is the source of creation. Every one of you are capable of doing this or no? Not in your hands, but here. Every one of you are capable of doing this or no? So there is an intelligence here. There is an intelligence and competence here which can turn a piece of bread into such a complex process called human being. When you have such an intelligence, if you do not tap into that, even if you access one drop of that intelligence, you will live here magically, not miserably. Right now the problem is you are misunderstanding your memory to be intelligence. The silly thoughts that you are having and the sappy emotions that come out of it, you're thinking this is your intelligence. No, this is just recycling of data. We have collected data in so many ways, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, we have gathered data. This data is going through a process all the time, nothing wrong with it, if only if that machine operated little separately. So this is all one needs to do, a simple process where if you sit here, what is you and what you have gathered, if there's a little space, this is the end of all your problems. If you sit here, your body is here, your mind is here, what is you is a little away from this. If you manage this is the end of suffering. Because you know only two kinds of suffering, physical suffering and mental suffering. Do you know any other kind of suffering? Hello? Physical suffering and mental suffering. Well, living in a place like this, there's hardly any physical suffering. Injury, ailment, war, famine, there physical suffering happens. But that is not even 1% of your life, isn't it so? Physical suffering. Rest is all on self-help. Either we have to remove your body or your brains now to stop the suffering. No, if you know how to sit here with a little bit of distinction between what is you and what is not you, this is the end of suffering. Only when there is no fear of suffering within you will you walk your life full stride. As long as fear of suffering exists within you, you can only take half steps. If you remove human suffering, if you remove the fear of human suffering within you, you will see your genius will overflow every day. There are substantial medical and scientific experiments and proofs to show that only when you're in pleasant states of experience, your body and your brain works at its best. There are some studies which show if you spend 24 hours, just one 24 hours, in all this life, just one 24 hours without a moment of anxiety, tension, stress, anger, fear, without all this, just one 24 hours, your ability to use your intelligence can go up 100%. Just one day. See, if one day did not happen the way you want, understandable. But if not even one day happened the way you want, obviously we have not read the user's manual, isn't it? Hello? Hello? We were thinking we could meditate for 8 to 10 minutes, is that okay? Hello? Can I trust you with your eyes closed? Is it okay? Is it all right time-wise? I think I'm running out of my time. 10 minutes, okay? What we will do is, you sit with your hands and legs uncrossed. Keep your hands facing upward, loose, arms should be loose, body loose, only your spine is reasonably erect, rest loose. Those of you wearing spectacles or any kind of something on your face, if you can keep it aside, it'll be best. Sit with a slightly upturned face. Are you all breathing? I'm just checking. Because some of you are not saying anything, I don't know, I can't come and check. Are you all breathing? Yes. That's nice. So one part of the thing is done. Are there thoughts in your head? Yes. Okay, so you have both the ingredients. So what we will do right now is, please, 1 second, keep your eyes open just for a moment. Breath is happening. There are many ways to look at breath. One simple way is this. Suppose right now, I take your breath away. What happens? You and your body will fall apart. Yes or no? Right now you're sitting here, you don't know which is you, which is your body, it's all the same, isn't it? But if I take away your breath, then what is you, whatever you may be, that and the body definitely falls apart, isn't it? So in a way, in yoga we call this the Kurma Nadi. That means this is a string which ties you to the body. If we undo this string, body and you will fall apart. This is breath. Thought process, it is just a recycle of the data that you have. All the time it's going on. We call this mental diarrhea. It's going on endlessly. You're supposed to think when you want and not when you don't want. But right now it's simply going on like diarrhea. So now these two things are two compulsive things that must happen within you, thought process and breath. Now all we will do is just link these two things together and sit there for some time. How we do this is, with inhalation, you will take one thought, with exhalation, you'll take one thought. When you sit with a slightly upturned face like this, with your eyes closed. If you sit with an upturned face and close your eyes, you will see naturally there is a mild focus between your eyebrows. Just try this and see. A slightly upturned face and eyes closed, you will notice a mild focus between your eyebrows. So maintain that focus as it is, no need to concentrate, just maintain that mild focus which naturally happens. And with inhalation, you will take this thought, I am not the body. Let's do this. I am not the body. With exhalation, I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. Please close your eyes. I am not the body. Inhalation, I am not even the mind. Exhalation, I am not the body. Inhalation, I am not even the mind. Exhalation, I am not the body. Inhalation, I am not even the mind. Exhalation, I am not the body. Inhalation, I am not even the mind. Exhalation, I am not the body. Inhalation, I am not even the mind. Exhalation, I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. I am not the body. I am not even the mind. Just continue this process. With inhalation, I am not the body. With exhalation, I am not even the mind. Karpuragaram Karunavataram Samsarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvindhe Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Take your own time, and slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes. There is a… It is a part of our culture that when somebody very dear to us passes away, after the cremations are over, what we think is most precious in our lives, we offer this to everybody around us. Because I see you as a part of myself, let me share this. It's just about 24 hours since my father passed. But because I've never broken a single commitment of any event, I just came here to see that I fulfill this. So as a part of this, there is a deeper process called inner engineering, which normally costs a certain amount of money. But for all of you who are here today, I hold you as a part of myself. So we offer this inner engineering. You can go on innerengineering.com and register yourself. In the next 24 hours, if you register at no cost, you register. This is my sacred offering to you. Please make use of this. Thank you very much.